Sok szeretettel köszöntök mindenkit, az én nevem Tamás Zsolt, kint vagyok Barcelonában az MWC 2023 kiállításon, ami egy rendkívül fontos mobil kommunikációs esemény. Ám ez nem jelenti azt, hogy csak és kizárólag okostelefonok vannak itt, hanem olyan készülékeket is demóznak, amelyek nem csak jövőbe mutatóak, hanem segíthetik a mindennapokat. A Vasco Electronics is kijött ide egy standdal, és megnéztem náluk a különböző készülékeket, amiknek a nagy részével már én is foglalkoztam, ám beszélgettem Laura Mendezzel, a cég Dél-Európáért felelős marketingesével arról, hogy mégis hogyan látja a jövőt, miben tudnak segíteni a következő generációs Vasco készülékek, hogyan lehet használni ezeket a termékeket, milyen előnyökkel rendelkeznek, illetve hogy nem félnek attól, hogy esetleg a mesterséges intelligencia kiüt a nyerekből mindenkit, és elég lesz most már lényegében kérdezni az AI-tól, ő pedig majd lefordítja nekünk a szükséges dolgokat. What kind of devices do you have here at MWC?
Well, we have two devices at the moment. One is the M3 and the other one is the V4, and both are universal translators, where you can basically translate everything around you.
How many languages?
The B4, for example, is our latest device, and you have available up to 108 languages to translate by photo and 76 by voice.
I have always questions about why it is better than Google Translator. I made some video about this because of course there are limitations for the Google Translator, but how can you just fast forward it and use it like at your device?
I think I can return to you with a question. Have you ever made a translation with Google successful and completely understandable to the other person?
With Hungarian, not so many occasions.
Okay, so the difference basically is with this, you have like 96% of accuracy. Other translators, applications like Google or any other, they use about only one engine translation machine. We have 10 engines translation. The difference basically is that you can be sure that be understood by other person no matter the language they have.
Mm-hmm. And are you developing this kind of softwares and AIs, or is it somewhere else?
The software and the hardware is developed by us. And about the engines translation, that's very technical, so I cannot get into details. But what I can tell you is all the device is developed by us. And actually, even the information that the device contains with your translations are regulated by European Union. So that means also that your information is completely secure under the rules of the European Union.
It's a very important thing, I guess.
Definitely.
And are you negotiating with operators around the world? Because these devices can be used nearly all over the world.
Yes, it does. We have partnership with an operator that provides us this international internet connection.
Mm-hmm. So you can use it like more than 200 countries in the world, as I know?
Yes, of course there are certain countries that are not allowed, if you travel to North Korea, it's not possible, but...
you don't want it?
Complicated destination, of course, but yes, you can take the device out of the box and use it.
And what was the most extreme country you used this device? I mean, not in the European Union maybe, or outside of the EU. So have you ever tried it in North America or in Africa, or?
No, unfortunately I haven't had the chance personally to use it in Africa or North America. As you can see, I'm very fluent with English. But I use it in Hindi with an Indian colleague, and I also use it with. I have a friend who is from the south of India, and they speak a different language than Hindi, and he was really impressed about the accuracy of the translation. So I'm not traveling, but I have friends from different countries, and I personally have used it. One of the things that I appreciate most of the device is that the ability that you can speak fluently, like very naturally. My mother's tongue, for example, is Spanish, and I'm able to express myself as usually I do with the device, and the device translated in a correct way. Sometimes I even use colloquialisms. All languages have colloquialisms, and it's impressive how they can translate it in the correct way to all the language. And when you try it sometimes with English words, and it's very funny because it's the meaning and the translation is only known by if you know what exactly means. So it's even expressions. So it's very interesting. It's very
Just imagine the Hungarian languages is very difficult. So it's a tough thing for the devices because the grammar is very difficult in Hungarian. But it solves it, so it's not a problem. And how can you imagine the future devices at Vasco that with bigger screens, faster translation, more languages, or what would be the next step for the company?
I think the next step, it's going to give you even more the usability, the user experience, I think, the device. So I would say that the next generation probably will go looking for making even more easier to just press. I mean, right now you just have to press a button and speak. So I think the speech recognition, and if you go it faster and for a longer period of time, it will give you like the completely full experience that you can express yourself in your own language as a local with this quick translation that we already have. So I think it would go more to the usability. Of course, we are always including more languages, and we are constantly improving the translation of all languages that we have. One of the things that you can find out also when you are translating is that we have native pronunciation, which also is something that we keep improving constantly. So we are already working in this, but I think the next generations of translation are going more on the way you use it.
And a very interesting question. Aren't you afraid of the AI? For example, ChatGPT. You know, there is online artificial intelligence, and it can translate everything you want very fast way. And maybe you won't need anything else, just a device. Maybe you won't need language knowledge.
Our engine's translation will work with artificial intelligence, and that's why we give you this accuracy. So from my perspective, I think all the developments that technology can give us is always an opportunity to keep improving and to use it. So when you look about technology and you think about it might be a threat, I think it's a growing perspective. So I definitely think that our product development team will take a look about it, and I think we will be on the edge of.
And you think people should always learn one or two external languages at least in order to just speak with each other, because maybe there are devices to help, but if you are in a place you don't have an operator or just a signal, you can use only your knowledge. So people should learn languages.
Yeah,
shouldn't they?
I think definitely knowing the knowledge of a language is always something that is very fruitful for yourself. And we are not saying that you don't have to. Our mission is not encourage you to not learn any languages. I think our mission is to help you to communicate, because you can learn a language, yes, but how long would you take to learn a language so deeply that you can communicate so fluently? So in that case, if you are traveling to China, how long it will take you to learn Chinese if you are traveling just for holidays? So, and you speak fluently, and to get communication with someone who doesn't know English, for example, or have complex conversations. In business, for example, you know that you have to be very accurate with the words that you are using because the context requires that accuracy. So this is, we are producing devices that breaks that barrier, and it helps you to communicate fluently. So it's not I think there are two different things. You can know languages, but you definitely can communicate better and everywhere with this.
Remélem, hogy tetszett a videó, tényleg arra ösztökélek mindenkit, hogy legalább egy nyelvet mindenképpen tanuljon meg, és próbálja ki ezeket a készülékeket, mert sokat tudnak segíteni a külföldi kommunikációban. Ha tetszett a videó, nyomjatok egy lájkot, iratkozzatok fel a csatornára, és kövessetek a különböző közösségi oldalakon is. Sziasztok!